Good day, everyone. This is the report of Group 8 about utilitarianism. So, what is utilitarianism? Utilitarianism in normative ethics, a tradition stemming from the late 18th to 19th century, English philosophers and economists Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill, according which an action or type of action is right if it tends to promote happiness or pleasure, and if wrong tends to produce unhappiness or pain, not just for the performer of an action but also for everyone else affected by it. Utilitarianism is a species of consequentialism, the general doctrine in ethics that actions or types of action should be evaluated on the basis of their consequences. Utilitarianism and other consequentialism is opposite to egoism. Utilitarianism also differs from ethical theories that make the rightness or wrongness of an action dependent upon motivate of the agent.
The nature of utilitarianism. It is an effort to provide an answer to the practical question, what ought a person to do? The answer is that a person ought to act so as to maximize happiness or pleasure and to minimize unhappiness or pain.
The basic concepts. In the notion of consequences, the utilitarian includes all of the good and bad produced by the action, whether arising after the action has been performed or during its performance. If the difference in the consequences of alternative actions is not great, some utilitarians would not regard the choice between them as a moral issue.
As a normative system providing a standard by which an individual ought to act and by which the existing practices of society, including its moral code, ought to be evaluated and improved, utilitarianism cannot be verified or confirmed in a way in which a descriptive theory can, but it is not regarded by its exponents as simply arbitrary. Bentham believed that only in terms of utilitarian interpretation do words such as ought, right, and wrong have meaning, and that whenever people attempt to combat the principle of utility, they do so with reasons drawn from the principle itself.
Criticism. The widespread practice of lying and stealing would have bad consequences, resulting in a loss of trustworthiness and security. It is not certain that an occasional lie to avoid embarrassment or an occasional theft from a rich person would not have good consequences and thus be permissible or even required by utilitarianism. To meet the objection to not permitting an occasional lie or theft, some philosophers have defended a modification labeled rule utilitarianism. Mill has sometimes been interpreted as a rule utilitarian, whereas Bentham and Sidgwick were act utilitarians. Another objection, often posed against the hedonistic value theory held by Bentham, holds that the value of life is more than a balance of pleasure over pain. Mill, in contrast to Bentham, discerned differences in the quality of pleasures that makes some intrinsically preferable to others independently of intensity and duration, the quantitative dimension recognized by Bentham. The prevention or elimination of suffering should take precedence over any alternative act that would only increase the happiness of someone already happy.